spouse and a bag of money on the beach. Simple. I think it's the seventh commandment, right? Let's bring back in our think tank, Christa, Ramey. The more as we uncover more and more information here, and Chanley getting us some insight into Chad Daybell's work, I think Eric Smith hit the nail on the head. It's about lust. It's about Chad Daybell getting his 20-something year itch, meets the blonde, has to get rid of his wife, got to get rid of her husband, and I'm not taking care of these kids. Boom.
Well, Boom is right. I think that you've got to have clues in advance about this kind of conduct. Someone just doesn't wake up and meet a hot girl and all of a sudden become a murderer, though. I think that there must have been clues along the way. And
have you been watching court TV? Christa, have you been watching court TV through the years? I've covered this trial like 20 times already.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't happen in an instant. It doesn't.
I think
it does. It absolutely does.
I think you mix your theory, Vinny, with a little bit of their cult following beliefs, and there you have essentially your answer. So I think it's a combination of what you just outlined, plus these, sort of fringe religious beliefs, these cult beliefs that they started to have. And I think that gives you sort of an explanation and a theory of the case as to why they did what they did. And this is just a tragic, tragic case.
Let me tell you, Andrew, this is what Chad Daybell does. He swings it back and forth. He got Lori Vallow into a trance, this blonde, and then all of a sudden he convinced her of all this crazy stuff, but at the heart of all of it was lust, Andrew.
Snap out of it. Who's hypnotizing who, right?
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about at the end of the day. Crazy people do crazy things. Yeah, I don't want to convict them on a TV show here as crazy people, but there's a lot of things that they're doing that I don't feel comfortable with. Anybody who's, with a necklace trying to figure out whether somebody was alive in the 18th century, you got to start to wonder whether everything's firing correctly there. And you start to see if that person really did have some of those tendencies that maybe prove them to be a little bit more crazy. That's what leads to murder. That's what leads down these paths of people getting together and doing crazy things.
Yeah, Christa, the one thing Eric Smith also told Chanley, and we talked about this last night a little bit, is that it seemed that Chad was always kind of drawn to groups of women when he would have his little religious get-togethers. It was always Chad with the ladies. They call him LL Daybell. That's what they called him, I think. Come on, that's what it was all about. This was all a big ruse. Nobody's going to go gaga for a gravedigger, but if you're an author and you can see into these spiritual places, maybe all of a sudden you'll have some women following you.
Well, she had a lot of men following her too. Let's not kid ourselves. I mean, she had how many? 4 husbands. I think
then they would run away pretty quick, though.
They would, a year each or something like that. I mean, you've got crazy drawn to crazy here. And, I have to agree with my, co-guests here that this is not something that just happens in a vacuum. These are people with very bizarre beliefs that, have a lot of death happening around them for sure. And I think that there are red lights everywhere about what these two people are made of by their beliefs themselves. They're not like ordinary.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You know whose children are still alive, Michael? Chad's. Chad's are still alive. That's why I think this is all fake. He made the whole thing up. He's trying to score chicks, period. That's what it's all about. His kids are still alive. He's getting everybody else out of the way.
Well, Vinny, I think the prosecutor needs to talk to you about their theory